like no matter what I try to do, I still end up going live super late. Okay. And there we go. Hey, welcome in everybody. All right, if you're joining me on replay, welcome in. I'm Monique Leslie, Misfit Crafter from Misfit Crafter Studio, Misfit Crafter Menagerie. If you've been following along, we attempted to make a gel plate, and it came out great. Couple of hiccups on my end, shouldn't affect your side, but it still came out really good. So this is a little follow-up. We get to play with them today, see how they turned out, and all of that. If you haven't seen it yet, if I just posted it a little while back, about maybe a half hour, 45 minutes ago, something like that, there is a video on my YouTube showing you how to make the jelly plate or gel plate, whatever you want to call it. But that is published now over on YouTube, so you can check it out if you want to. If you are watching the replay on YouTube, it should be linked up there right now somewhere. Yeah. So be sure to check it out if you want to make your own so that you can play along with us now too. But yeah, so we're going to play with the gel plate. Just so you know, I'm live on both YouTube and on TikTok right now. So you might hear me talking to somebody that you're like, who is it? They're on the other side. But I really encourage you to make sure that if you are over on TikTok, to go follow over on YouTube so that you can watch replays and all the other videos. If you're over on YouTube, go ahead and follow me over on TikTok. I will be posting a whole lot more on YouTube, and we are looking to try to get more followers and watch hours on YouTube so that we can provide more content and attach it to more things. So it'll be great. So I got my bucket of paints. I don't know how many of these are dried up though, so I'm hoping not too many, but we're going to use whatever it will let me use because acrylic's best, but I know a lot of my acrylics dried up, so I'm going to see which acrylics did not dry up. Well, these still all seem okay. Alright, I think these guys should be fine for this. And hello, welcome in. We're going to play with our gel plate. I'm putting this paper here because I don't really want to get it on my new mat. So, actually, let me get another paper. This one, this should be better. Okay, so when I made the gel plate, which you'll see in the video, when I undid it, it was all whole, it was perfect, it was fine. The one thing that I did, which I do also go over in the video, is that I did a lot of pausing, and because I was pausing in between stirring and doing all these different things, for me, my bubbles set up faster, and it was kind of warm in the house, so like my gel plate was setting up really fast. And again, since I was recording, I kept pausing, so I ended up with like tons and tons of bubbles in mine. There, you can see them, right? But it's not too big of a deal because really the bubbles are only on this side and I'll be using this side, so we'll be fine. But because I ended up with one big bubble on the side, when I lifted it another time and I was impatient and didn't wait till the next day, definitely wait till the next day. You can do it like in 4 to 6 hours, somewhere around there. Just wait till the next day. It's much more firm. It's much better just to wait. But so when I picked mine up, it ripped a little rip, so I went ahead and just cut it up, which is fine. I'm going to make me another one for a bigger version, but this is like the big one. Kind of can see it in there that the bubbles are all on one side only. There's all my finger. Oh, piece of tahine. But this side actually doesn't have bubbles. This is the side with like all the bubbles, which is not a big deal, but you might end up with a little more texture if you use one side versus the other. But we're going to use both. I kept like the little pieces too, just because it's fun because you can use them to stamp on other things as well. So we're going to play with them, and we're going to start with the big guy, I think. Put this one aside for now, just to see how it works. This is our tester outer. Now, the one thing I do have in this one, because I couldn't find a perfectly flat container to mold it in, is that I do have a little dimple in the container, so therefore I have a little dimple right there. Again, not too big of a deal. Especially when you're doing these, it's not too big of a deal. And one thing I've been wanting to try for a while, because I never seem to have the right photos or anything like that, is doing an image transfer with this onto something else, because I think that would be really, really fun. So I want to do that as well. So that's one of the first things I think we're going to do, is attempt this image transfer. I think this is a pretty color. We will try it with this guy. I'll tell you how long it's been since I used these. Okay. So really, all you really want to do, like basic supplies, when you have a gel plate, something to keep it in. A brayer is like a must-have. Then other things just to give yourself texture. It can be stamps, combs, just using the end of something to like drag through it that you can clean off easy. We'll try all kinds of stuff, but it's our first attempt at trying to see how this sucker works. I'm just gonna put some dabs of paint on here so we can rub it through. Acrylic paint usually works the best. You can use other things. You can use alcohol ink. I don't 100% love the idea of using it though, because it is alcohol. You're trying to put on a gel surface. Not too big of a deal. But it also dries fast, so you're not going to get as much like movement, in my opinion, if you do that. Let's see. Let's do some light and dark blue. Oh, dry paint. I don't know if these ones are dried out or not. It's quite possible. Let's see. Looks to be moving. Ooh, it's moving, but it's separating a little. Welcome in. If you have any questions, let me know. But these are freaking fun to play with. You can make tons of pages of stuff out of them. Did it just like get brighter in here? Already just the pattern that this is going to make is going to be fabulous. But the more we do it, the more we're going to get out of it. Okay, so right there, you can see my bubble. I don't know if you can see it. But I mean, imagine that pattern. You see that one hole. So we're going to end up with that one hole. That right there is where the paint is separating just a little bit. All right, so we're going to do that. I'm going to pick one of the pictures to put on it, which I should have probably picked first, but right. Oh, this one's cute. Let's try that one. Can I cut you out without cutting you out? Yes, I can. Welcome in. Don't forget to say hello. And if you're able to, I would really appreciate if you flip over to the YouTube side. Again, I'm trying to build up my watch hours, and lives are the best way because those count. And I think it would be cool if we could do that. I'm trying to see where the baby's going to end up. We are just going to put that down. We are going to let that dry right there, honestly. So while that part's drying, we can mess with this part up here and add a couple things. It really doesn't take too long to dry if, you know, your house, the room you're in is fairly warm. Even just a little bit, it usually will dry pretty quickly. Just trying to see what I want to play with to put it in there. I have, where is it? Ooh, I see something fun that we can use. little piece of reindeer moss. Get it in there. And I end up with a blue piece of reindeer moss. Not a big deal. I'm gonna end up with paint all over me. All right, just letting that dry through. While that one dries through, I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of the smaller gel plates. And if you're just joining, let me know where you're from. Don't forget to say hello. Let me know what you're doing. I actually want to see what happens with all these bubbles. So let's try it with all the bubbles. All right, let's see if this guy is going to do the same thing. I've had this one for years, these paints, and some of them are dried out. The rest seem to be okay. So we'll do the transfer on that one, and we'll just do some nice printing on this one. If you guys can, go ahead and do those tap taps and share. That would be very much appreciated. Not bad color. Don't want to waste paint and I don't want to waste paper, so I'm putting that on there. All right, I'm going to use a regular piece of paper so you can see what it looks like, just like on a little piece of paper. And then we'll use it over a print as well. Oh, it's not bad. I can see some of the little medallion right here and our butterfly right here. Paint was a little thick, so some of it's not quite coming through, but think about layering this and doing a few other things on it would be really fun. ATC cards, stuff like that. Welcome in. Has anybody else ever used a gel plate? Or are you kind of just checking it out for the first time? Oh, that came out really good. Let me see that. Okay, so we get all of the really cool textures and stuff in there. It will definitely be covered in paint. Welcome in. We are playing with the homemade gel plate so we can see exactly how it came out. Ooh, I like it. So the more we keep lifting, we're getting a little bit better and better with the results. I really like the way that one came out. Let's lift up the rest of this. Thank you. Let's try this spot. Even for borders or for collaging with them, adding them to junk journals and art journals would be really, really fun. Hello. I am working on playing with a handmade gel plate that I made. If you go over to my YouTube channel, you can, no, I'm not painting. I wish I was, but I'm not painting. This is all playing with the gel plate. If you go over to my YouTube channel, there is a video on how to make your own gel plate. This right here is just a print that I have on here drying, so we can do an image transfer. So they're really fun. Like if you ever want to play with the gel plate, they're pretty awesome. But if you go to my YouTube channel, it's Misfit Crafter over on YouTube. There is a video that I just posted showing you how to make the gel plate. And so today we're testing it out to see how good it holds up and everything. So this was like a little piece. This is like the bigger one. And there's also a link to grab the instructions with all of the supply list and instructions and everything as well. So you can watch the video and have the instructions so you can follow along. So it's pretty fun. All right, let's see how much this is going. Still pretty wet, so I'm just gonna wait a minute. So we'll still play with the little one. Okay. I like the color of this pretty purple. I think I put too much paint on the last one. That's why the first one came out more just like splotches. Put a little less this time. Yeah, these are addicting because you can do so many of them so fast and you just want to keep playing with them. Oh, some of these are stuck. Oh, I wonder if I can. Thank you. Don't forget to hit those tap taps and don't forget to follow. Trying really hard not to make this turn brown on me. These two colors want to do it quickly. These make really great backgrounds for pages and all kinds of other things. And we'll do one more of this one. Over to the side. Let's see if we can get the butterfly to come out a little better. It's because a butterfly has really fine details, so it's harder to get them on here. Bigger, chunkier details will come out a lot better than like super duper fine details. Let's see what else I have textured. I end up throwing everything in here and then I have everything covered in paint. try. See how this ends up looking. It's one of my giant jars of sequins. Thanks for the follow. So this is going to work like a mask, but it's really good about taking the impression of an object and you know what the object was. So it's kind of cool. I'm a crafter, but I have seen this before. Really? Oh, it's super fun. It's great for like all kinds of things. If you're a card maker, a scrapbooker, a junk journaler, art maker, painter. Just, it's fun to play with these. And like I said, you can get the recipe on how to make it yourself. Of course, you can always buy them. They have them at most major retailers and stuff like that. But with this, you might have all the stuff already. And if you don't, it doesn't really cost much to get it. So only ingredients you need are Knox gelatin, vegetable glycerin, and water, and a good sized bowl. Not too big, but mine was like that. Microwave helps because you can do it a lot faster. And then a container. The biggest, most important thing is the container that you put it in. You want one that's as flat as possible. And then it will end up making the best gel plate that way. Not enough paint going through the centers, but we got a bunch of little circles. It's kind of cool. It's kind of fun. You can make other things. I think if it was a little bit wetter and the paint were to go through each of the little holes, it might give a slightly better impression. I think I needed to put paint on top of them, and then that would have looked even better. Let's try this. Yeah, like that. So like our circles are still there, but they're a little bit more faded to the background now, which is cool. You can still see the flower and everything right here. We can definitely use that for different backgrounds. Oops. We'll let that dry. And the thing is, you end up with like a pile of backgrounds and other stuff that you get to play with, which is really cool. No, so right now I'm just playing with and testing out the gel plates that I made yesterday, or day before yesterday actually, because I just made them. I just posted the video on how to make them. So, so I'm not making cards right now, but I basically will save all of my backgrounds and either use them in cards or use them for basically anything that I want to play with at the time. So they'll get used. I know a lot of people that they'll keep them up like in a little file and pull them when they need them. Some people hang them up on the wall for inspiration and then pull them when they need them. If you ever heard of a masterboard, it's kind of cool to combine this with masterboards. It's kind of neat just all the way around to play with. ATC cards, especially like this little one. It's like perfect for ATC cards. Let's see what else we can get on here. I'll try one with this dark blue. Can't wait till that finishes drying. Thinking I should have put another print like up here at the top, but it's okay. Yeah, because it gives you like a bunch of prepared backgrounds. And depending on the colors you use, and you can use stencils on this to make different patterns and things like that. It's really fun to make patterns and stuff out of anything you can find. I don't know where I'm trying to think of where my stencils and masking things are. Haven't seen them in a bit. Have all my stamps. Oh, I don't know where they might be. But I did find a doily. We'll see that we can do this. All right. And see, this is like getting some of the pattern off of the gel plate itself and putting it on the back. So it's really cool if you need like something that's two-sided. If not, it's just on the back. And then if you want to watch the replay of this again, I suggest heading over to my YouTube. That's where all the replays are, and that is where the video is to have you make the gel plate. Look at that. Look how cute. I like it a lot. How cool is that? We're going to have to make a few more of those. And then now, because we did that, we're also going to have another impression of it. Plus we have a pretty little doily. It's acrylic paint, so it's really just a matter of how much paint you use, how much humidity you have inside your house, that kind of thing. So I mean, sometimes it's just a few minutes, sometimes it can be like 3 minutes. Like I'm pretty sure the paper under here is dry, but that is like really a lot of paint that I added right there. And the thinner the layer, the faster they dry. See, here's another one now. Usually I'll just let it do its thing. Because the gel plate itself, it basically, think of it just like as a big old hard, firm thing of gelatin, jello. Like a jello shot kind of thing. I wonder if I can get one of the small pictures out of this. I had a little elephant picture. I don't want to get on the back of this, so I can still use this photo after. Sometimes what you can do is turn it over just to make sure it's all pressed down nicely. The gel plate itself to make it though, it doesn't take very long at all to make. It takes like 15-20 minutes, if that. It just depends on how quick you work. You don't want to overdo everything too quick so you can avoid bubbles. Just like any other Jello, if you mix it too fast, you're gonna end up with bubbles. But it's recommended to leave it 4 to 6 hours. But I say leave it overnight, and then you'll get a better result before you start playing with it, because then it gets as much moisture out of it as possible. Once it's done, rinse it off a little bit, let that dry, and then it's good. All right, we're gonna let that one sit for a minute, and we're gonna take a look at the other one and see how that one did. But it's pretty quick. I mean, I've done it before where I was just like constantly sticking papers on one and made like a pile of like 20 or 30 in a few minutes because you just keep going. Like I said, acrylic paint is to me the best to use. You'll see a lot of people say acrylic paint. You can use watercolors, other things. Just know it's not going to give you the same like thickness of paint. If you're doing an image transfer, it's definitely acrylic paint for that. I would avoid oil-based paints. You definitely don't want to do that. Alcohol inks, you can use that. but you got to work fast with alcohol inks so they don't dry out on you. For the most part, you use just about everything. Re-inkers are really cool. Tim Holtz, what am I thinking of? The Distress Oxides are really good. Do you seal them? I do alcohol inks and you need to seal them. No, you don't have to seal it. Alcohol inks, you don't have to seal like on paper or anything like that. You shouldn't have to be sealing that. If you're using like Yupo paper and stuff like that, yeah. One thing I would suggest if you're using alcohol inks, use photo paper because that'll seep in a little bit to the photo paper a little bit better and you won't have to like seal it because it's not completely writing on the top. But I've had like alcohol ink that I've used to make coasters and I mean, I had every drink possible, hot, cold, and everything. And I've never had to seal it. Like it never came off. I was really surprised. I thought for sure because I didn't bother to seal it that it was going to come off my coasters. And nope, they were still there. Okay, let's see how this one went. So what's going to happen is it should transfer the photo. And it's not this photo. There's actually an elephant on the other side. It looks like a mom and a baby elephant that's on the other side. Should have transferred the photo. The best is to use like a really contrasted black and white. And then what we're gonna do after that is we are gonna add more paint. Ooh, I may have let it dry too long. Or this wasn't dry enough. We'll find out. We'll see if anything happens with the transferring. I might have messed it up. We'll see. I don't really see it transferred. I was wondering if this paper was going to work, but I'm not really seeing it transferred. So there's a big possibility nothing's going to happen right now. We'll find out. Ooh, that one is dry. So what you do is you put more paint. Let's see what happens. You just want to get this nice saturated with some more paint on there. Yeah, I don't know if this paper, it's from National Geographic magazine. I don't know if that paper works too well with this. Let's see something with this guy too, though. I'm wondering if I can still get it to work in another way. Myself, I have yet to perfect transferring images. I mean, I've gotten it to work. I've just seen other ones where they work like really cool. I don't see anything coming off of this. I might have put it too thick or I didn't take it off fast enough. We'll see, but at least it gave me a really cool print. And it's cool paper on here. So we'll find out on here. Yeah, because it doesn't look like any of it really transferred. So I might try it again, but I still got a kind of cool print. So I do like that. like the way this is coming out though. Almost turn that towards me. And that would have gotten on my shirt. Really bad. I have aprons, but do I ever put them on? No. So I have a lot of clothes with stains from paint and inks. How cool of a background is that though? Where'd it go? The one thing I do suggest is having a space where you can shove everything to dry, because you're gonna end up with so many piles of paper. And really, to clean it off, just keep doing this until you get most of the paint off, and then after that you just go rinse everything off of your gel plate. Some things will definitely stain your gel plate, it's not a big deal. Because we're using Knox gelatin, the gel plate does come out a bit with the yellow tinge to it. Let's see, we'll probably put more on this. All right, let's see what happened with the little guy. Thinking the layer of paint that I put on this one, because it was just like leftover paint, it was thinner, might actually work better than the other one did. You can kind of see that elephant under there. With the look, it's going to be on the gel plate. What keeps happening is it just keeps coming up completely. And it should leave an impression on there, but I don't see it. I don't know if this is going to be enough that this comes off. It might not be able to come off. I'll try something else. Just using this to get the impression down. Oh, actually, it kind of did. So I'm getting there. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it. You see him right there? That's him right there. There's a trunk right here and his legs right here. That's our little guy. So we're getting closer. So either I had to leave it less time. I think it needed a little more paint, a little less time, maybe. Yeah, you can see that's him right. See him right there. Still looks kind of cool on this, but let me try. Let me try something else. You see it? I think I needed just a little more layer of paint to it. I don't know if this will still work. It might. Let me try with these other guys on the other side. See, it's supposed to be wet enough that it saturates the magazine paper. but not so much. The magazine paper takes off all the paint. So maybe a little longer. Maybe I didn't leave it long enough. Let's see. Try it again with the big one too. Okay. I was reading something really quick to see if maybe it can give me a little tip to do it a little better. You're doing laser prints. That's cheating. Not really. I mean, that's pretty cool too, but I want to, let's see. Yeah. Okay. Definitely, you'll probably catch me again. Like I said, you can always watch the replays over on my YouTube as well. We're trying to build up that YouTube as much as possible. So I really appreciate some follows and stuff over there. You'll catch me every so often in here, usually on weekends. Same name. Yep, Misfit Crafter everywhere is pretty much all just me. So anywhere you see Misfit Crafter, it's probably me. You can also check out my website if you want to sign up for a newsletter and all of that. And we have a bunch of freebies. When you go watch, if you go watch the video on how to make the gel plate, it has the worksheet. When you click on the worksheet, it's going to take you to my website. And it's going to ask you to sign up for a free membership. It's absolutely free. There's no catch. It's just to help me keep like trolls and stuff away from the site. But when you do, you get access to like all the freebies and stuff. All right, I really want this one to work. I really want this one. Okay, so only for like 30 seconds. We'll try it that way. Try a little less. I think I'm leaving this on too long is what it is. All right, I think that's long enough. Let's see what happens. Still don't see it. I'm wondering if it's this paper. I'll try it with another magazine maybe. Let's see if that works. I still might be leaving it on just a little too long. Oh, and I forgot to add more paint, but oh well. Too late now. Yeah, definitely not on there. That was like one of the ones I liked the best. See if I can get some of it to come off. See if I can get some of this paint to come off onto another paper so I can at least see the elephant still. Nope. Oh, all right, let's try again. We are going to get this. Maybe not enough paint. I'm not putting enough paint. Maybe lighter paint. Welcome in. But I've seen it done with like completely jet black paint too, so it can't be the paint color. Okay, let me count down 15 seconds this time. Maybe I'm doing it too much. No. I don't get it. Let me see. I'll try a different magazine and see what happens. Oh, it just keeps coming off. Try something I might just not be seeing it too. Hey, welcome in. Just not putting enough paint today. Yeah, my paint's drying super fast. That might be what's doing it. A little better, maybe? We'll find out. Oh, okay, so I know then I did this one completely wrong because I left this on here way too long. Everything is telling me just 10 to 15 seconds now. Can you see again? Which part? Like, so far it hasn't done it. So I'm trying to find a good picture that maybe will work. Which part did you want to see again? Yeah, it seems to just lift the paint off. I don't know if it's the magazine or am I just not doing it fast enough? I see something, but I don't know what I'm seeing. See, it's like just lifting it off. So I'll let that one dry. It says basically let it dry. And then add your paint to it. So we're going to do that now. Add another layer of paint. Let's try this again. Now I'm going to try to find a different magazine. See if that works. Alright, it says a minute or two for this one. Okay, maybe I'm messing with it too much. It could be it. That's still wet. I'll let that dry. But I can show you what we've done so far. So just with regular plate stuff and things to put in there. So we had a doily on there previously, so we're just taking off the rest of the paint off of it. So we got that really cool print. This was the doily that was actually sitting on there to make the masking. So that's just on that spot, which is what created this one, which I think came out kind of cool. And then we have some small little guys. It came out kind of neat. I was just trying some small bits while the other one was drying, and I didn't realize that you're not supposed to let it dry that long. You're actually supposed to take it off really quick. So these are just some fun prints that we were messing with. Because you can make all kinds of really fun things. These are just the little guys right now, so we just got a pile of little ones. And like, because this one just took everything off, which is another print I tried. That was another print I tried. And nothing seems to be sticking. Same thing, like this one I try to transfer it right now, and we'll find out if anything happened, but nothing seemed to transfer. I just keep seeming to completely lift off the paint. I don't see anything. It's cool though. I mean, it still looks nice, but I am not seeing like big amounts of anything actually being transferred. Oh, my other one's drying up here. And this was just playing with the paint. I can still use them all for something. That I will do. Unfortunately, I still don't see anything. Yeah, unless you guys see something, but I don't see anything. Still kind of cool. It's a cool little background. We'll try. I'm not giving up. I'm gonna try to see if I can find a different magazine clipping and see if that works. Be right back. Do you have magazine? Have you seen one? Magazine. I think the National Geographic magazine doesn't have the same kind of paper as other magazines, but it's not working. I think I just got a PBS one. But I saw that one. Try the PBS one, see if that has anything on it. It works. Gonna check. I think. Oh, I think I just got paint all on my sweat, my dress. Okay. There it is. I have a PBS magazine that might work. Let's see if we can find something black and white in here. 20 minutes. Ooh, found a black and white picture in here. Oh, found a cool one. Now, it'll be cool if it transfers. That'll be cool if it transfers. Let's see what else we got. This is still like really thick, shiny paper though. Still doesn't feel like regular magazine paper, but let's see what happens. Like it's like uber shiny paper. Let's give it a try anyway. Let's try this one on here. Okay, so I'll try this one this time. We'll try this one on here. I think I'm messing with it a little too much is what's also happening. Okay, well, let's count. All right, let's try it. Ooh, maybe, maybe not. No, I got nothing. Try a little longer. Okay, I'm gonna try again, see what happens. I lost everybody for a minute, so welcome back. I lost the TikTok side. I'm trying to do an image transfer, but I don't seem to be having any luck. I think part of it might be the magazines that I'm trying to use. Don't think it's the paint. Well, let's say National Geographic should be perfect for this. Oh, I see a little bit. Not a lot, but I see a little bit here. Very little bit, but there's a little person there. All right, we'll let this one dry. We'll see what happens. I'll try it again on this one. Get all the paint off of this guy real quick. Actually, do it with the book pages that I have. Welcome in. As much of that paint pulled off as I can. Wipe the rest off. Hey, welcome in everybody. I will kind of lost the TikTok signal for a minute. Oh, and I think that's the bubbly side. Let's try the not bubbly side. All right, let's see what happens. I still have enough paint on this. I still have enough paint on this, so let's give it a try. Try it again with the National Geographic and see what happens. anybody has tips for me, let me know on the image transfer. That's the hardest one that I've ever had to do. Everything else I'm fine. I have the timer, so I'm checking the timer to see what happens. Still don't see anything. I just got a blue square. Rectangle. Well, actually, I might actually have something on there. Maybe. I can't tell. Kind of. That might, I think the ears match up right here, but it's really hard to tell. I don't know if I should just try it again or see if it works. See, I know partly now what I'm doing from learning from this. I need to do thinner paint, less time. Try one more. I have an itty bitty one. That's watercolor. Let's try green. That's the other thing I keep doing is waiting too long. If you're just joining, we're playing with the gel plates that we made by hand or DIY'd gel plates. If you look on my YouTube side, if you're ever on YouTube, if you look at the last video posted, shows you how to make gel plates. And today we're just playing with them to see how well they work. They're doing their job. My hard thing is image transfers. I've always had a hard time with them. I think it's mostly that I'm impatient with it. Try this one again. I think it was that, and I think I was also putting too thick of paint on everything. I don't see anything. I still don't see it. Oh, I see something. I think I'm just impatient with it. I don't think I see anything on this one at all. I don't know. Yeah, I don't see anything transfer. I'm gonna try it again. I think I keep waiting too long. Ooh, let's try the car. That's cool. All right. Yeah, I honestly don't see anything on this one. So yeah, I don't think anything was there. So I'm gonna try this one. I'm gonna clean this one off. We're gonna try this one again with a thinner coat. And carefully watching the time. Okay. They're holding up pretty well, the gel plates themselves, for me pulling and all that, so I can tell you that. Very thin amount this time. Okay. Honestly, don't see anything on there. Nope. Not even a slight shadow. Maybe for this I need to leave it a full 30 seconds. Let's see. It's really wet. Oh, it just isn't transferring. I don't know if it's just this is a different magazine paper. So I've done it before and I at least get something. This, I'm not getting anything. I'm gonna try again tomorrow for that, but I'm gonna finish up these inks just to get some backgrounds at least done, even if we're not getting the image transfer that I was hoping for. Can you at least get some layered paint that I hope will look cool? At least I have some nice background starters. My little guy go. I see it looks like almost maybe something got back there, but I can't tell. grab some more papers out of the book. Just some pretty book pages. Hey, welcome in. We're just testing out the gel plates that we made. You can find the video of how to make the gel plate on my YouTube. I do have people watching both on YouTube and TikTok right now, so TikTok seems to keep going in and out though. And I'm trying really hard to do an image transfer, but nothing seems to really want to transfer. So I'm trying to figure out, is it the paint? Is it the magazine? Is it, what is it that's actually causing the problem? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like maybe they're too thick, but then I'm also thinking maybe my paint is too thick because these are all heavy body paints. Hello. I can't tell if I'm leaving them on too long, not long enough. Thank you for the hearts. Because to me, it just seems to be lifting the paint off, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything else. Still looks pretty cool, but it's just lifting the paint off. I just don't see a transfer. I don't know, we'll see. I think tomorrow we'll try it again. I'm gonna do the last few, and then I am gonna head out because I'm hungry. Yeah, I don't see anything, but doesn't mean it doesn't look cool. All right. I mean, I don't see anything transferring over. I've done it before with the same gel plate. I've made the same gel plate before, and I didn't have any issues. But I don't know. Alright, I think it's time just to clean up the gel plates. Get as much paint off of them as possible. So, I mean, we have some like cool transferred paint onto the magazine, so that's still good. Some of them got blacked out, but and some book pages and just some cool scraps and other things that I can definitely use. You know what? I put this one over one with one of the elephants. And you guys, I think that's it right there. I think this one actually did transfer over the elephant onto here. And I just wasn't seeing it. It's hard to tell now because of all the paint. Some more book page. That's just stuck. But oh well. I left that wet one on top of another wet one. That's okay. Still cool. So here's some of the bits we did. Now, if you want to learn how to make the gel plate on your own instead of having to buy one, again, head over to my YouTube channel. There is a full video on how to make it. See, this is one of the images I was trying to transfer over to onto the gel plate. It just wasn't coming off. Same thing here. Underneath there's a photo. Underneath that, there's a photo. So I'm just going to use these as other backgrounds, and I don't know, maybe something will help pull them off. I don't know. I'll just have to see. I'll try it again tomorrow, but I'm going to see with a different paint and see if that works. So that might be the biggest difference of what's happening here. But we had some fun little bits with all these guys and getting some regular paint transfer on here. So these are going to be fun to use for junk journals and things like that. This was what I used to mask it. And then some other bits. And then the paper that I'm using is like a shiny paper. If that really shouldn't matter, no matter what, should transfer something, but it wasn't. That's fairly dry. These just need to get washed now. I mean, the gel plate's working great, so that's good. But yeah, you can get the recipe or whatever, the instructions on how to make it over on my YouTube. That video is up there. It has a link also to the worksheet that goes along with it, so you can get that. And that worksheet, when you click on the link to get the worksheet, it'll take you to my website where you can grab other freebies and all of that as well. We have a free membership. When you grab your worksheet, you're going to end up with a free membership to my website. Don't worry, it's not like a trap to try to sign you up for a bigger membership or anything. It's just to help keep trolls away off the website. But the free membership gives you access to all the freebies, all the groups. I call it kind of like an FB for crafters, because we have different groups on there. Events. There's a shop. If you want to check out my shop. And there's a little bit of everybody on there right now. Different crafting genres. Just have fun on there. So I definitely encourage you to check it out. And you can find my YouTube and my profile if you're over on TikTok side. If you're on the YouTube side, be sure to follow and subscribe there, or like and subscribe. Ew. That one was really dry still. Well, I didn't do much. But that's okay. Yeah, I think it might be that this paint is just really thick and drying fast. I said it is a heavier body paint, so that could be what's doing it. Yeah, look, it's already like dry on here. I mean, that's just coming on a big old chunk, but it still looks cool. Still get to play with it. All right, so I'm gonna clean this up. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Again, I'm live over on both sides, YouTube and TikTok, so I see a few different people coming in and out on both sides. The cool thing about acrylic paint, it's a lot easier to clean up too. Because my sometimes my watercolor paints tend to stain my fingers, and definitely oil paint or anything else or inks will stain pretty quickly. And then to clean off the gel plate, right now I'm just using a Clorox wipe, which isn't the best idea, but just running it through water, everything will come off. But I want to get as much of this off as possible before actually running it through water, because I don't want acrylic paint going down my sink. So I always try to get as much of that off at first. That's just water in the spray bottle. It's water. It's kind of like an air freshener, like a homemade air freshener. So it just has water and glycerin and essential oil in it. But mostly it's water and scent. Alright, so I got most of that cleaned off now. I'll just go rinse off just the little bits left. But got pretty clean. Works pretty good. Pretty sturdy, nice and thick. I will go rinse these guys off. They will sometimes get stained by some colors, but I haven't rinsed this one yet to find out. This is the first time using them after I made them. I've made it before, though, with the same recipe, and it worked pretty good. There's a lot of flakes left on it. So again, you can check out how to make your own over on my YouTube. It has a link to the instructions, the worksheet instructions along with the supply list, but I do tell you all that in the video as well, but that way your notes are already taken for you. All right, so I'm going to head out. Thank you for joining me, whoever stuck around. Thank you so much. Don't forget, like, subscribe, follow, share, all that good stuff. If you want to watch the replay, head over to YouTube. That's where the replay is going to end up. I will be editing a lot of my replays soon. Those are a little bit harder to get to. And then I am going to figure out what's going on with me trying to do these image transfers. Once I figure it out, I will come back and make another video to show you how to do it. But go make your own. If you do make your own, please post where you grab the worksheet. Post up your versions or in one of the groups. If you join any of the groups, you can also post in there. Once you become a member as well, like I said, free membership, you will have your own like profile page. So you can add photos and stuff there as well. Like I said, it's kind of like an FB just for crafters. So it's really fun. But I will see you guys next time. Thanks again for joining me. See y'all later. Bye.